I'd now like to move on into the student speaker portion of our show tonight. We have three students, BBA senior Chris Curtis, MBA second year Chloe Fagan Tucker, and MBA second year Caroline Landau, who each would like to come up to stage to enthusiastically share with us how their incredible scholarship support has personally impacted them during their time here at the university. So we'll start with Mr. Chris Curtis.
Thanks for coming, and I know I can speak for everyone when I say appreciate all of you guys being here. So when I talk to students here, and I talk to undergrads, and I talk to MBAs, and I ask them the question, what's one of the most impactful things that has happened to you during your college career? What's one of the most fulfilling things? A lot of them talk about going abroad, or they just talk about interacting with people of a different culture and getting outside of that comfort zone. And so I'm up here to talk to you guys about some of those experiences that I've been lucky enough to have while I've been in undergrad. So just to give you a little bit of information about me, so this is me as a young whippersnapper. I had a different upbringing than a lot of people here in America. Both my parents were expats, so I actually got to spend 8 years growing up in Europe, most of that being in Rome, Italy, so not a bad place to be. And so because of that upbringing, I got to see a lot of different things. I got to meet a lot of different people, go to a lot of different countries, and that really shaped the way that I saw the world. It shaped the way I thought, it shaped the way I interact with people. It really changed fundamentally who I am. And that actually changed me so much that I had a hard time adjusting back to culture in the US. So you can imagine the horror of my fourth grade peers and classmates' faces when I met them for the first time and tried to kiss them on both cheeks. It was tough for me. It was tough, and I just remember struggling, trying to play football and baseball and failing miserably at them when I'd been playing soccer my entire life. So as challenging as that was, that kind of planted the seed that I wanted these experiences. I wanted to go and experience other lifestyles that I wasn't used to and that weren't my own, and quite frankly made me uncomfortable. So I planted that seed, and moving forward, that really came to fruition when I was a junior in high school, and I actually got to study or do some service in Bolivia for 4 months, or 4 weeks. So a little bit of a different time frame, but so that was eye-opening for me, going to a Latin American country, a developing country where I'd really never understood the culture and how they lived life there, and trying to help them and provide aid to them. So needless to say, at that point, I got the bug. I knew that this was something that I needed as a human being, and something that was going to fulfill me for the rest of my life. And so that's kind of the person that I was when I stepped onto Michigan's campus, and when I entered the business school. And I've been blessed and very impressed by all of the opportunities that I've gotten through the business school. But the one that sticks out in my mind the most, and maybe just it's because of it was the most recent, but it was also probably culturally the most impactful, was my trip to Morocco, which I just got back from about a week and a half ago. So 48 hours beforehand, I'm sitting on my couch doing homework and talking to my roommates, and then the next thing I know, I'm sitting in this crazy square in Marrakesh, and there are snake charmers that are wrapping snakes around me, trying to take me in, and it's really loud. People are bumping into me left and right. I'm getting pulled into spice shops to kind of go and smell their spices and have them try to sell me things. It was, yep. So it was a crazy change of pace for me. Yeah, it was very different, and so we eventually got to our hostel, and we actually got started on the academic purpose of our trip, which was to end up, it was an international trade project focusing, taking the perspective of a pharmaceuticals manufacturer who wanted to do business in Morocco. And how does that look? Is it a good environment? Is it a bad environment? What are the things that you need to take into account? And so we interviewed key stakeholders and visited pharmacies, and beyond that was supplemented on a macro level by visiting the U.S. Embassy and the Chamber of Commerce, which was, the U.S. Embassy was really important for me because as someone who wants to be a global business leader, it's interesting to see how the U.S. government kind of keeps their fingers on the pulse of the global economy and what's going on in every single country. And I guess there's kind of two takeaways that I had from that, from the experience as a whole. First is the importance of the African economy moving forward. So A lot of the times in the business school, you'll focus on Asia, and you'll focus on China and India moving forward, but you forget about the population boom that is going to be happening in Africa and how important that's going to be. And then just importantly, this is my host brother, just the stark cultural differences. I had never been to a country where Islam's the primary religion, so seeing the call to prayer and interacting with this host family in between business visits where they spoke absolutely no English was just a reminder that those are the kind of situations that make us uncomfortable and help us grow the most as a person. So that's something that I'll take with me as a business leader, for the rest of my life. So here I am. I'm sitting here, and I'm thinking about what it means to be a global leader. And this is it. It's getting out there and just getting uncomfortable and getting in situations that you've never been in before with people that you never would be with otherwise, and learning from that and growing and being dynamic. And because of Ross and the programs that I've been able to go on, I've been able to travel to Costa Rica, Peru, Bulgaria, Chile, Italy, and finally Morocco. I've been able to kind of get started on developing that skill set, and something I'll take with me as I continue to try to be a future business leader. Thank you.